Hey you guys, it's your girl T, and I want to go ahead and talk about the controversy that's going on with our favorite Oscar winner, Common, the rapper. What went down is that Common was on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. He was supposed to be promoting a new movie, but Jon Stewart decided to ask him about the Mike Brown situation in Ferguson and racism and all this other stuff, because as we all know, Common was down there in Ferguson. So when Jon Stewart asked him about racism, how to get over it, he basically stated in a passive way that we should just extend our hands out to white people and basically forget about the past and move forward. So after that clip went viral, folks started dragging him on Twitter. I want you guys to go ahead and check out all these comments and what folks had to say on social media, and I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary. You guys just checked out everything that folks were saying, and if people want to know my opinion on the situation, and I guess I feel like this, I understand that at the end of the day he does have to kind of walk a fine line, because at the end of the day, he has to feed his family, he has to work, and if he goes on some angry black man tirade, he's gonna lose deals, he's gonna lose sponsorships, etc., etc. I feel like what he said wasn't well thought out. I feel like he was trying to just he wasn't trying to ruffle any feathers. I don't feel like it was well thought out, and it came off as way too passive for me. I don't think it's okay to tell people to forget their history. I don't think it's okay to tell people to forget the past and just move on. It's no different than if somebody was to get up there and say, forget the Holocaust, forget what happened to the Jewish people, to the Jewish community, just move on. You should never forget your past. You should never. It doesn't matter. You should never forget your past. If you forget your past, you forget your history, you forget where you come from, then you're destined to repeat all the mistakes. You should always, remember your past, honor your past, but then also look forward to the future. I don't think it's so much about extending your hand to white people. I think, to me, he needs to make sure that he extends his own hand to his own people, to his own community. Make sure that you still protest and you go help out when your community needs you, like he did down in Ferguson. Make sure that you're still looking out for black folks and that you're still spreading a positive message and you're still doing what you need to do. I think that's what he needs to do first and foremost. We're always so worried about extending our hands out to everybody else. We need to take care of home first. There's so much stuff that's going on in the black community right now. Right now, it's in disarray. And I think that we do need more positive people in the community, more positive people talking about things that are going on in the community. Just like with the little young girls who were out there fighting in Brooklyn. That story went viral. The other little young girl down in Indiana who beat up the other girl. We have to take care of home first before we can start worrying about other people's communities and start worrying about extending hands out to other people. We need to extend our hands out to each other and get this over here in line first before we start worrying about everybody else. But I can't not comment. I understand that he has to walk a fine line. Just like when Kendrick Lamar did that interview, a lot of folks were mad at him. But again, these entertainers have to walk a fine line. I don't understand why so many black folks look to celebrities and entertainers and rappers to be the voice of them. I've said this time and time again. Common doesn't represent me. He doesn't represent my voice, my ideas, and whatever else. Neither does Kendrick Lamar. They may say some things that I agree with, and I appreciate their music, and I appreciate things that they do. But at the end of the day, they're just individual people. They're just human beings. I don't put them on a pedestal. I don't idolize them. And I think that's a problem sometimes in the black community, is that we put rappers and athletes and entertainers on some type of, pedestal to speak for the entire community. That's just his opinion. He doesn't speak for all black people, nor does he speak for me. That's his opinion, that's how he felt, and that's what he stated. At the end of the day, was it passive? To me, it was passive, and I think it's a lot deeper than just extending a handout. I think a conversation about race in this country truly needs to be had. And people just need to understand that racism is not going anywhere, and people need to learn how to deal with it and call it for what it is. But then also understand that everybody's not racist. That's another thing that folks need to understand. You can't just, throw everybody in one bucket and say that, everybody's racist just because they're of a certain race. Because if that's the case, everybody could say that everybody who's black is ratchet and ghetto and a thug and everything else, and that's not true. You still have to judge people based on that individual and based on how they treat you, based on that individual and based on how they treat you. So I mean, it's definitely a complicated issue. I understand, you know, people's concerns, people feeling like, oh, he's cooning, he done got his Oscar, he done got that check, you know, now he's a new black person like Pharrell. You know, it is what it is. I'm not surprised by anything that comes out of any celebrity's mouth, because at the end of the day, like I said, they have to walk a fine line. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they have to walk a fine line. They have to do what they have to do to survive and to feed their families. So it is what it is. I'm not shocked. Again, that's why I don't look up to celebrities like that, and I don't allow them to speak for me. I make my own videos. I state my own opinions, and you know, either like it or don't like it, but at the end of the day, these are my thoughts and opinions, and those are his thoughts and opinions. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. How do you feel about Common and what he had to say? Do you feel like he's selling out, he's acting like the new black, or do you feel like, you know what he said made sense, and that we should, you know, possibly get over racism and then to hand out to white people and move on? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Let me know your thoughts. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and share. All right, deuces.